Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and my thanks to the Global Peace Foundation for inviting me to speak on the Korean unification and future security system in Northeast Asia. Saying that, I also, from the beginning, should bring your attention to misprint in my paper published in this booklet. On page 106, in the chapter 5, conclusion, third line from the top, from the beginning of this chapter, it is written, removing threat of another major peace and common prosperity. It's in the original text, it is written, removing threat of another major conflict, period, promoting peace and common prosperity. I don't know why it happened. Editors maybe they're mistaken. Okay, after that I will proceed to my paper. History proved that any serious aggravation of situation, the most so armed conflict on the Korean Peninsula, always jeopardized Russian national security, compelled her to undertake additional measures to strengthen country defense capabilities in the region. Several times Russia had to use her armed forces in Korea to protect her interests against non-continental adversaries, as it happened in 1904-05, in 1945, and finally, though on a very limited scale, in 1950-53. That's why Russia is vitally interested in maintaining peace and stability in Korea. The promotion of good neighborhood and mutually advantageous cooperation with the regional states in Northeast Asia is getting even more important for Russia in view of Russia's policy turning to the east and cooling relations between Russia and the West because of the events in Ukraine. A few words on a unification of Korea and Russia interests. Russia generally welcomed all moves by two Korean states aimed at relaxation of tension and promoting inter-Korean cooperation because of two major considerations. Moscow hopes, first of all, that inter-Korean reconciliation will remove a threat of military conflict right next to the Russian borders, and secondly, promote more favorable environment for both development of Russia bilateral economic ties with two Korean states, as well as for implementation of multilateral economic projects with Russia's participation in Northeast Asia. There are expectations that in the long run, a unified Korea will be a country capable to maintain relations of friendship, good neighborhood, and cooperation with Russia. But there should be no doubt that Russia's priority interests concerning realization of any unification scenario remains maintenance of peace and stability on the peninsula. It is also important for Moscow to ensure the most possible predictability of final results of reunification process. High degree of uncertainty concerning character of foreign policy of the United Korea, its participation in the military political alliances with other countries, and orientations of such alliances compels Russia, as well as other countries, while welcoming inter-Korean detente, to take more cautious position towards prospects of unification. One can hardly expect that Russia, and I can dare, in presence of my Chinese colleague, to say China, too, to welcome as a new neighbor a state with 75 million population, which is under prevailing influence of the United States and the more so with American troops on its territory. It would be done equivalent to emergence of our west-eastern borders of an Asian clone of NATO. The possibility is especially unwelcome in view of NATO expansion to the east in Europe. Russia's firm conviction that there is no alternative to inter-Korean dialogue and cooperation. Moscow never failed to confirm that Russia, I quote, Russia supports the policy of developing dialogue between the two Korean states and bringing them closer together, and that, I quote again, Russia has always aspired to and today express its unequivocal support for a dialogue and rapprochement of the Korean states and maintaining a denuclearized Korean peninsula. Better relations between North and South Korea, along with providing with more favorable conditions for development of trade and economic cooperation between Russia and both parts of Korea, also is highly likely to contribute to confidence building between South and North Korea. Russia believes that such cooperation will not only be economically advantageous, but will also increase trust on the Korean peninsula. Russia's foreign policy concept, approved by the President Putin last December, stated that Russia, I quote, is interested in maintaining traditionally friendly relations with democratic republics of Korea and the Republic of Korea, and will seek to ease confrontation and de-escalate tension on the Korean peninsula, as well as achieve reconciliation and facilitate inter-Korean cooperation by promoting political dialogue. So both on security and economic reasons, Russia is vitally interested in peace, reconciliation, and unification of Korea. My colleagues already share their opinion on the nuclear issue, so I would like to say only my concluding remark on that issue, that the future of the nuclear problem, how it will be solved and resolved, will depend, in my opinion, mainly on what choice will be made not by North Korea, but the United States. Whether the United States limit its demands to North Korea to non-proliferation agenda, or will continue to pursue simultaneously a backstage agenda to realize a regime change scenario in this country. In the latter case, North Korea is unlikely to give its nuclear deterrent. A few remarks on a vision for unified Korea. History of the Korean settlement for the last 25 years, including time and again encountered difficulties in solving nuclear issue on the Korean peninsula, make us to conclude that without solution of a certain fundamental problem directly related to the region's future security architecture as a whole, we will continue incessantly stumble on minor problems and will not be capable to tackle them. The fundamental key issue which any future peace process in Northeast Asia should to resolve is defining acceptable for big countries place for United Korea in the future regional security system. Short of such a vision, each and every participant of the future peace system will remain very suspicious about other plans and moves. Many politicians and experts in the United States, Republic of Korea, and Japan have already listed a reunited Korea as a member of tripartite alliance of United States, Japan, Republic of Korea, to which some other countries is already linked. However, such a plan unlikely to be welcomed by Moscow and I also dare to say Beijing. Both countries are likely to perceive such a triangle as a deterrent against Russia and China. Such an alliance would be tantamount to emergence on the Russia eastern borders of a body similar to NATO under the umbrella of American missile defense, which already deployed in South Korea. Calculations to the effect that future unified Korea will be a de facto forward base of maritime powers, the United States and Japan, against continental China and Russia, can hamper and is already hindering both the establishment of reliable and sustainable peace system in Northeast Asia, the solution of the nuclear problem, and the reunification of Korea. And in conclusion, The current long pauses of the six-party process provide South and North Korea with a unique chance through their own combined efforts to seize leadership in removing threat of another major conflict, promoting peace and common prosperity. The start of this century proved that inter-Korean dialogue has all chances to become a major factor of security and stability on the Korean Peninsula. The dialogue is vitally necessary to improve the current uneasy situation in inter-Korean relations. The best options for the Koreans would be to resume working on implementation of numerous bilateral agreements and understandings reached between South and North Korea at the various talks and contacts held during the several previous decades. It is high time for Koreans, both in the North and in the South, stop relying on outside forces and take their nation's destiny in their own hands. Thank you.